Yo, that's probably what a new Charon would do. Since Charon can leave the mud tiles, what if there was a poison and disease Charon that left poison and disease tiles behind it? Or lava tiles, for that matter. Eating too much spicy food. He's just crapping it out, leaving fire tiles everywhere. Welcome back, everybody. As you can tell, things have changed. There's projects going on in the house, so a bunch of furniture is getting moved around. You can actually see some of my minis I've been painting right there. We're going to be looking at some viewer games. I honestly... Alright, we got to have a talk as I'm pulling up the viewer game list. I almost streamed something else tonight, and it would have been the first Sunday stream that I did not do Phobies viewer games in a long time. As in, like, I've missed some because I just didn't stream, but it'll be the first time that I streamed a different game on Sundays in probably like 2 years. The reason for that is... I mean, I think I've done a poor job of advertising both the viewer games and Monster of the Week and stuff, especially in recent months. I don't even post in the Phobies creator channel anymore when I go live or when I produce content or things, which is clearly hurting stuff, right? Like, it's not helping the case. But the reality is, well, you'll see. We have, I think there's 8 games in there. And 6 of them are from Painful Fate, and 2 of them are from Noob Sim. Now, we've had this before, where we had the Dear 8 show before this for a few weeks, and like, it doesn't bother me necessarily. I think people do get kind of bored. You know, people, it's like, oh, we're watching one person's games, which isn't the end of the world. It'll change in the future, but we haven't had people submit stuff. I don't know if people are uninterested in Phobies. I'm not doing a good enough job of getting stuff out there, or it's a combination of both, or it's some other factor. But we just don't have very many people submitting viewer games. And in the future, I think what I'm going to do is just make a judgment call on some of these, and we just may not do them. And then we'll pick it up the next week, sort of thing. And again, this is like, I'm not knocking Painful Fate or Dear H or whoever else happens to submit 80 games, but like, it's strange to me that people care, because like, if you're out there and you're watching this, and there's several hundred views on every one of these videos usually, if you're out there and watching it, if it's several hundred people, it's clearly not your own games. So does it matter if it's the same person's games? Like, does that impact you? I don't know, but we'll see. Either way, we're going to get into it. As always, I have to let everybody know that I'm part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. I actually just emailed them the other day to let them know, hey, here are my video links for the last month. We're going to jump in. Got a Painful Fate game on Exponential Decay. Face Jaws, got scared, but won anyway. You got to want it to win it. Chat, I'm going to message my wife while we're waiting for this. Where is it? Can you bring me my new toy, please? I bought a new toy. I almost bought another one today. Trying to support my local store. And got some Mythic Legions. They're my first Mythic Legions figures. I haven't even opened it, so I held off on buying the second one because I'm like, I haven't even opened the first one. Let's not get ridiculous here. But I did have 2 tournaments today, or yesterday and today. So that's why I was a little tired on the stream yesterday. I got one coming up this coming weekend. It'll probably cause me to miss the Saturday stream because, assuming that I don't scrub out, I will be there all day. I'm actually having some caffeine. It's a Coke. I haven't had a Coke in, like, honest to God, like a year. I've had other sodas, but I specifically had a Coke. Now I'm spraying condensation everywhere. There's a Jaws! What's funny is we have AWOL here. But we have a Wiggy on the other side, which is probably going to be the next victim. Kablamo. One shot him. Get wrecked. Nerd. How's everybody doing out there, chat? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm expecting this week to be miserable because I have expectations, let's just say. So, other than that, pretty good weekend. Played in 2 tournaments, did pretty well. Probably going to prepare for the upcoming tournament this week as much as I can, and honestly, I think I'm going to play the same deck. I'm trying to find ways to do more Star Wars content, Star Wars Unlimited content, because that's kind of where my main focus is. I would like to put more effort into Phobies, honestly, but we're still waiting on the Phobies team figure out what they're doing, essentially, and announce stuff. It sounds like there were some public statements made, public being within their Discord. I don't remember exactly what it was worded, so you're just going to get the vague version here. But it sounds like that they are rebuilding teams, expanding teams, getting their feet under them. And as a result, that is... I mean, look, if you've ever worked a real job and you had to, like, actually build it... Speaking of which, there's a wiki. If you ever had to, like, build your team sort of thing and set this sort of thing up, you know that it can take time, that it takes a lot of effort to get people acclimated, to get people working together, and really get the machine well-oiled. And I don't have a problem with that, as long as I do feel, and I've talked about this on many other occasions, the cycles for these sort of things. Like, Phobies, I'm going to call it Phobies 2.0. I don't think they're going to label it as such. Maybe they will. But, like, we'll call it the relaunch of Phobies under new management with Boss in this new role and the team in new roles. That's a really good Noxious hit, by the way. That's already worse for you than the... Well, maybe not. Because you might be able to kill this Noxious kind of trivially. Yeah, you might be able to kill this Noxious kind of trivially, and then... I think the Noxious is a more important tool than the 2 Phobies you're going to lose, but... They're also going to be lost over time, because you're going to be able to... Yeah, this is actually terrible for Bad Guy. What are you doing? Oh, for a second, I thought they were going to muffin the wiki, which would have been really funny. But let's say Phobies 2.0, whenever... I'm expecting... I have, even though I'm a content affiliate, as I've said many times, they don't tell us this shit, and there's no reason to believe that I have insider information, because I don't. So, this is all my own speculation. But I think Phobies 2.0, the relaunch, is going to be... Like, they're going to try and make a big deal out of it. It's like, alright, we have the new team, it's under new management, it's whatever. We're going to try and, we're putting our best foot forward. We're going to do this thing. Great. That's good. Glad to see it. However, wow, you ate the snowball? I don't know about that. Like, did you really need to eat that? How much did that snowball give you? 300? You already have 1,500 damage. Do you really need 1,800? You're already two-shotting, like, everything. So, except for Alligator. Like, Alligator, you needed it for the two-shot, but, like, alright, you are... That just seems like a mistake. There's no reason to eat that snowball there. So when they relaunch and do, and again, speculation, if they relaunch and say, here's Phobies 2.0, you need it to be great. It needs to be big, because existing players are kind of riding on this. Anybody who's on the edge, there's a point where everybody just goes, yeah, it's too much. I just can't. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. And then they give up on the game. New players, admittedly, might not know, but if you're not fixing the problems that is causing people to hemorrhage anyway, then those new players never become veteran players, and then that's how a player base dies, right? I'm not saying that's what's 100% going to happen, but I am of the opinion you only get so many chances. I thought Maggie was going to get the takedown, which would have been really funny. She actually needed a bunch more damage. So, again, I don't... If they relaunch, they have a Phobies 2.0, and it isn't 100% clean, it isn't 100% perfect. It's not like the game is going to die 2 hours later. However, I don't love the position that the team would be in then. Down goes the sheep. Down goes the bug. Down goes Snowball. Alright, I'm not going to lie. Like, Yes, the alligator loss was a big asset because you invested a lot of keys in it, but the reality is there are way more threatening things on the board. I don't know. I'm hopeful for Phobies. I really do hope that they get their act together. I care about Phobies. I am personally, and this is why I haven't played. I mean, well, the main reason I haven't played is because, again, I can't do ladders. I don't care. I want good games, and this ladder is not currently... Well, it's not just the ladder, but the game is not set up to have good games. You would need a player base like 10 or 100 times the size to realistically be okay. And even then, it would be kind of sketchy because of the way it works. Levels are just a problem. I just don't see any way that it's healthy to have them, but they're always going to exist. That is the economic model they've chosen. Has this Leela activated a single goddamn trap? It's only placed like the 2 traps, right? And they never went off? This is a very weird game. A bizarre game. Somebody's pinging me in Discord. Why are you pinging me? I'm trying... I'd have to explain so much context to really confer why I'm frustrated with... excuse me. With this particular conversation that I've been dragged into. But I just want to... I want to go on a tirade about it. And I kind of hate it. I hate that I feel that way. I hate that I feel that way. There have been some really frustrating things lately. GG. We get there. Well played, Painful Fate. That was actually a pretty interesting game. Normally, I break the games up, and I'm wondering if I should just do, like, one big block and be like, this is Painful Fate, and it'll be, like, an hour-and-a-half block, and then it's the Noob Sim games. We will stick with Painful Fate. I wonder if the new rule for, and this game may have fallen off their profile. It did. I wonder if the new rule for game submissions should be, if it is not favorited for any reason. Like, if you submit 12 games, you can't favorite them all, right? Should the new rule be that if your game is not favorited, it just gets skipped? I would kind of feel bad because some people do just forget. Some people are new because we come and go in waves. Like right now, we have 8 Painful Fate games, and then had the Dear H ones before and whatever. And there have been other people before that, but we'll get waves of new people submitting stuff, and they'll forget or not realize, and it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And I would feel bad there. I wouldn't feel as bad if it's a regular who forgets, because it's like, come on, you know the rules. But even a regular, you know, you can make mistakes. But maybe if you submit enough games that you literally can't favorite them all, you're not allowed to submit more games. Also, can our hero possibly could have just sniped that jar? They might. Can you pick off this murder wing? Oh, bad guy. I, too, remember making these mistakes in horrors. And Doomsday. What could they possibly get me with? Well, it's the onboard trick and the jump scare jar. Boom. Roasted. How's everybody doing out there, chat? I think I already asked that. I'm gonna go back to the doctor. I'm tired of going to the doctor. It's been a lot of doctor trips this year, chat. Don't have kidney problems. That's a strong recommendation for me. I'm not a doctor, but I do have kidney problems, and I don't recommend it. It's not as much fun as it sounds to have problems with your kidneys. I say as I drink a Coke. But it is definitely not as much fun as it sounds, and I have to imagine it doesn't sound very much fun. At least that's what I would have thought. Also, why are we both maxed out? No, okay, bad guy's not maxed out. Why is our hero maxed out with Maggie and Cowbell at this point? Like, what is happening? The Cowbell is fine, but, like, what are you doing with Maggie here, Painful Fate? What are you doing? Also, Painful Fate, you got to be in my Discord. What is your name in Discord? The Painful Fate? Panic point advantage hero. At this point, so here's something that hasn't really come up a lot. And I don't know if I'm going to do a good job articulating this, but like past a certain point, there is, you know, we have the two-player advantage, the second player advantage with keys, where it's like if we trade keys, I have one more than you, so technically I will always have more or at least one better phobie than you. But first, and that's intended to offset the idea that first player will likely get access to the majority of the panic points first and therefore be able to pressure the heart. And in a stalemate situation would then have the advantage. Every game, when it comes down to panic points like this, is going to have a tipping point where once you've done X amount of damage to the heart, it's now incumbent on your opponent. They must intervene. They can no longer just wait, because the end state will be you just kill them with the panic points, which I guess technically is always true. You know, the first time you claim a 2-to-1 panic point advantage, if you both just pass turn forever, the person with the advantage will win. But there is a tipping point where you need to, and it's difficult to determine, and this is why I was saying it's hard to articulate. It's not just the obvious of, I get a 2-to-1 panic point advantage, and then you're down, you're taking damage, and eventually you'll die. There's actually a point in the game where you cannot ever get there because I've already done enough damage to the heart. Like, there aren't enough moves remaining in the game for you to be able to do it. Hey, former TSL player here. I switched to Runestrike after Shutdown. Your Crow Pauper inspired me to do a Brienne Pauper Zeus run. Nice. Have you completed it? I did that a long time ago, and honestly, I think they changed. I don't think you needed to hit that. I guess it didn't matter, because you were only going to be able to hit those things anyway. I think they changed a lot of the bosses and stuff since I originally did it. I still get comments periodically on the Runestrike videos. Why are you putting Ash on the board? This is going to be setting up a weird flesh crawler play, isn't it? It's very weird. But yeah, I still periodically get 2 left. Well, good luck. Just wait until you get to, was it set? Well, he wouldn't be in a Zeus run, I guess. I'm trying to remember. I don't think they mixed the mythologies. I think it was set that was the nightmare. Yeah, I figured we were pulling Flesh Crawler here. Tentacles! It's a big hit. Big hit. Snipe the spider. I gotta say, like, that was one of the most miserable things I put myself up to that I've maybe ever done. Because I knew it was possible. I had an early run where, like, the coin flips went in my favor and I almost got there. And I'm like, okay, I can see this being possible. Except it took, and I tracked them. I forget how many hundreds of runs it was, or attempts. But, like, you just needed to, like, keep resetting it until you got there. Brienne might be better. I don't remember why I did Crow. I've never personally been a fan. Like, I don't like doing those challenge run things. But at the time, we were just looking for stuff to do in RuneStrike. But yeah, I do periodically still get comments on the videos, which is funny. Like, that game is still going. When people say something is a dead game, it's kind of comical to me now, because it's like, very few games are dead. That only really happens if they are true PvP and solely PvP, because then there just literally are not enough players to matchmake. RuneStrike's advantage is because it does have that PvE element, and you can do your own inherent challenge runs and things that people will always have something to do. Just Minerva and Zeus. I don't remember what their mechanics are offhand, so I couldn't even offer advice. GG. GG, painful. And we got more pings. Sorry, answering pings in Discord. Alright, so that was the Leo Nitro bad guy game. Another one that's not favorited. Wah, wah. This one. The other ones might be gone. Oh, man, this will be a short stream tonight, chat. We'll actually switch over to something else. If these other ones. This one's from 420. Yeah, these are all from 422, so unless they're favorited, they are off the profile. This one is there. Okay, the other two are there. All right, these almost fell off the profile, but Painful Fate, loving that old Ergo. Tried Boo Fairy, tried using Boo Fairy these times here and there. That's not a sentence. I think this game might be his spotlight in terms of damage. Put it on the couch, didn't you? All right, what do we got here? We got... Dad, we do have a pack opening video coming up. I got another Kickstarter thing in. We still haven't played Never Rift. I do want to play it. We just got to find time. We also got a Noodle. Oh, there you go, boy. Noodle, go boy. Come here, go boy. We got the puppy coming. Come here, go boy. Go boy. Careful. Come here. Oh, I got you. I got to go boy. I got to go boy. Alright, hold on. We're going to pause the game. It's a good boy. It's a Noodle. Who's a good boy? This is my good boy Noodle. He is the king of dogs. Yes, he is. He's a spoiled. He's a spoiled baby. He's a spoiled puppy. But you're a good boy. You want to go get mommy? Where's the mommy? Want to get mommy? What? No. Not for you. Go get mommy. Go get mommy. Alright. What do we got? We got a very zoomed in game. Painful Fate is like, how did this snowball make it over here? I was super preoccupied with my snowball. The good boy Noodle. You know, I wonder, chat, if I was able to do full-time streaming, would I go back and play RuneStrike or some of these other games? I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have time, even if I was full-time streaming like 8 hours a day. I think playing through, like, there would be a bunch of single-player games that I'd play, and then I would get obsessed with whatever PvP game. You know, like, say, a Phobies or something like that, and there just wouldn't be time necessarily to go back unless it was drawing me back for, like, oh, there's an event or something. But I think Rune Strike and a bunch of those other games are just in maintenance mode, so they're never going to get new content. I also need to get a hairdryer so I can loosen the joints on these guys. We got the Germ team. Here's something that I do wish that Phobies had. I wish there were more intra-Phobie synergies. So there are Phobies that are good with each other, like Phantom or Ash or Shove Shark and One Movers, right? Like, the obvious thing is, hey, this thing is super powerful, but it's slow, so it's difficult to get it into the fight, so here are things to help it. But I want, like, and there are the obvious ones of Jill and Ted, or, why can't I think of them? The Speedolas. Couldn't think of it. But, like, I wish Gesundheit and Microscopic had more synergies, or that all of the germ phobies went together did something, or all the Hevos when they were together did something. I mean, we obviously have ones that do it to a degree, but I like those where it encourages certain... The challenge is making them good together and interesting together, but not making it so that they are, whoa, interesting. But not making it so that they are useless on their own. Because, like, if you have one Speedola, they're just not very good. If you have just Jill or Ted, like, it's fine, but, you know. Rune Strike is pretty dead. I'm number 2 on ladder. It's only my 2nd season. Yeah, it was officially put into maintenance mode, I'm pretty sure, like, a couple years ago. Like, still during the pandemic. I'm still looking for a better Elder Scrolls Legends replacement. It's funny, I'm on the Digital CCG's Reddit. I don't really post there, but I just kind of lurk, and at least twice a week, there's a post about, like, what are people playing right now? What's the best competitive game to play? And the answer is Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. To a lesser degree, whatever the Yu-Gi-Oh! Client is called. Because there's nothing, like, there aren't any other games. Also, yeah, Boo Fairy is, like, clobbering shit. Oh my god. Clinico for Boo Fairy? Bro, what? I mean, if you're looking specifically for card games, it's going to be the big name things. Like, the other ones are either dead or dying. Because it's the same thing like physical card games. You go to a store to play a physical card game, you're either playing Magic, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, or you're playing Pokemon. If your particular store supports Star Wars, like I play Star Wars, so I look for places that support it. If your particular store plays Digimon, or any of the anime games, or whatever, that's different. But they are not as universal, or even like Flesh and Blood. There's just not as many people who play those games. I wish there was a digital version of Star Wars Unlimited. I mean, you can play it in unofficial clients, but yes. There isn't an official one. Unfortunately. Painful Fate, cooking them once again. I don't know how you got so many games on Ergo. Whoop. Did not mean to do that. Yeah, Ergo is a map in this game. Ergo is, in fact, a map. But yeah, I definitely wish there was a digital client. Like, I would play the shit out of that. I would stream that game a ton. If there was an official digital client for Star Wars Unlimited. No notes for this one. Painful Fate. Leaving us hanging. Answering stuff in Discord as we're going. Now I can't get my goddamn... There we go. Okay, there we go. My hobby store supports, though. Yeah, like a lot of places by me do support it. I travel for tournaments for like I was at a tournament yesterday and today for Star Wars Unlimited, and I'll be traveling to them next week as well. I just wish. The reality is that a cardboard game company does not necessarily have the expertise or tools or personnel, which I guess is redundant with expertise, but like you get the idea, to create a digital version of the game. They are two different things, and if you have to hire a bunch of people to make your game, like you're not already in the business of making video games, that is a big, big investment, and it's not in a vertical that they're really going to care about. I don't believe in the idea of it cannibalizing things. And there are, of course, ways to handle it. So, for example, if Star Wars Unlimited, with their first rotation, said, okay, the digital client is now, like, we've rotated out the old cards. The digital client is now going to include all these cards and going forward, and then eventually we'll backload the other ones. Magic has done that before. It would be fine. Then they could include, like, Pokemon has digital codes in their packs. That's why I think Pokemon is the best one. I think Pokemon's a good game anyway. The card game. I can't, not that the video game is not good, I just can't speak to it that well. But they've had that planned, and they've been doing that for a while. There's really no reason not to for other companies, other than they don't want to, or they don't think they can't make enough money, and therefore they don't want to. Dude, Painful Fate, what is it with you and Leela? Wait, did we watch this game? Oh, please. I think we watched this game. Bro, that's how I feel right now, Leela. What are you doing? Hold on, I think I'm going to use this for the thumbnail. I think we're going to use this for the thumbnail. What is the timestamp for this? That's going to be the thumbnail. We don't have an intro. Well, hopefully Noob Sim... Alright, so I think... Because they wrote Zeth, but there were 2 dates. So, I guess... I don't know if there were 2 games, or that was a... Like, they loaded it twice. We have even less games than I thought we did. This is going to be a really short viewer game. Well, I said it was going to be a short viewer games, and then we have a 31-turn game on Carousel. I know Karst likes Phobia, but I kind of feel as though this tile set produces some of the worst maps in the game. Only rivaled by the Office tile sets, because they are just awful. What is happening? What? Noob Sim, what are you doing here? Okay, so Creep has, like, this mucus or whatever on the bottom of it. It needs to, like, leave a trail behind it. What if Creep had an ability similar to, Charon? Yo, that's probably what a new Charon would do. Since Charon can leave the mud tiles, what if there was a poison and disease Charon that left poison and disease tiles behind it? Or lava tiles, for that matter. Eating too much spicy food. He's just crapping it out, leaving fire tiles everywhere. What? What the heck? What? Gravedigger carried so hard. What? What the hell just happened? Why did we juice up a Creep? Alright, we take our free pick here. Because why not? I mean, the cat's gonna die, right? Alright, here's Gravedigger. Please tell me you, like, triple EBGB special them. Actually, you'd only need 2. If you put obstacles like where Shove Shark, either where Shove Shark is now or where Creep is now, and Gonzo, you can just like lock your opponent out. That would be sick. EBGB special. I guess this particular map isn't that bad. In my head, I was thinking of Center Stage. I'm like, that map is doo-doo. Right? Does anybody like that map? Doesn't seem like a good map. There's the Mildred. So you're saying Gravedigger carries, but I feel like Mildred is going to carry. Triple panic point advantage. How does this go on 31 turns? Bad guy does have 11 keys available, though. Breaking the... What? Okay. Tickles. Really wishing he called in sick to work today. Clinico? Okay. We're going to set up the next heebie-jeebie special momentarily. Dude, what is it with this guy and juicing up Creep? That can't possibly be the right play. That just cannot be the right play. There's no way. Locking him out once again. Bad guy on 0 keys, by the way, so they just flung the Creep away. I guess the thought process is, I'm going to go in to poison Mildred. I need to do a lot of damage because they're going to heal it. But, like, they're going to heal it back anyway, so what's the point? Dude, how did this last so many turns? It feels like, I know bad guy broke it at different points, but it feels like you were at a triple panic point advantage for like the whole game. This Waffalo Will did nothing. Oh, we get the boop. The positioning here, I know, is going to look weird, but it's all just to avoid the boop from Shove Shark into Waffalo. And now you can kind of, like, recollapse on everything. Mildred. Is Mildred, like, a thing on this map? Because it does feel like it would be extremely difficult to dive a Mildred. Closing the gate once again. I don't know if that's a great lock, but, I mean, it's a lock. Bad guy in shambles. I don't know that I love the Clinico Hevo placement. Then again, the Hevo can now threaten the heart. You know, like the Evo could just go in and hit the heart once, and if you can claim back one of the other panic points, that might be sufficient. Like, what are they at? It would not be sufficient, in case anybody's wondering. That was good usage of the lava tiles, because it is very easy to fall into the trap of like, oh, I'm never going to go down there because there's lava tiles, but past a certain level requirement, it's like, who cares about the lava tiles? They just don't matter. They just don't matter. Now, bad guy does have control. Like, this Wuffalo is just dead weight. Imagine if this was an actually useful phobie. Got him. And bad guy's kind of cooked, because, like, the only awkward thing here is you don't have the Hevo in place to immediately start shelling the bottom panic point if bad guy tries to claim that, because they could have sent Shove Shark down there. I think they needed to. Honestly. They kind of just... I don't want to say they let you win, because that makes it sound like, you know, you didn't have to work for it at all, or you did nothing. But, like, how many turns did bad guy just effectively do nothing? Mostly because of that grade, like, MVP Gravedigger is right. This guy... he is the Mortician Supreme. GG. Alright, last game of the evening, chat. We got... this one. It's another long-ish game, Exponential Decay. Violence is not an answer, it's a question. And the answer is, oh yeah! Shout out to all my Kool-Aid Man fans. What violence are you inflicting upon bad guy this time? Very early Rusty. Rusty, one time, I think undisputedly the worst phobie in the game. But now, kind of respectable. You gotta respect the Rusty. Most games that I know, turn-based strategy games like this, and this is really from a card game background, like, they have formulas, maybe not hard formulas, but because there are other elements in play. And it would be true for Phobies too, but they have formulas to determine what stats and costs should be at certain levels and things like that. You know, like if you pay one resource, you get X. If you pay 2 resources, you get Y. If you pay 3 resources, you get Z, etc. And it makes me wonder, why was Rusty originally costed at 2? Like, why was that deemed to be worth 2 keys? And it's less an esoteric question of like, well, why did the Rusty end up... It's like, well, what is the design philosophy behind this? Because clearly that was a miss, among other ones. And it's not a problem that it was a miss, but like, how do we make sure that there are less misses in the future? Same thing with Phantom and Shove Shark and Doc Holliday and Billy and, you know, all these other things. I'm hoping that there will be more transparency with the new team in play. We get the poison on the Murder Wing. That should be lethal for it. I kind of like this, getting the follow-up here, because your opponent's going to, you know, kill the creep, and you want to threaten them with other stuff. But they do have 8 keys, and it's not really far to get them into the mix. Evo 2.0. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. I just don't feel like they appear very often. Alright, we got the whole family of Hevos out here. The whole family. Who are we yoinking? Are you gonna boop it? So, the boop logic, I understand this is how it works, cognitively. My heart says this should not fucking work. Why did that boop up and not down? To me, like, I'm gonna take a second to explain this, because this seems stupid to me. Like, it started here, and it went here. I don't think it should do that. I think it should go here, relative to this thing's position. Like, this is away from the Hevo 2.0. This is away in a sense, but this is a more direct line, because this feels like it's doing a V. Which in some world, like, okay, I throw the explosive here, so it pushes the thing here. Like, you can defend it, I guess. But to me, it feels like through this, it should then push it this way, not bank 90 degrees. And look, somebody will be in there. I know there's a chart that explains why it's supposed to go that way. But this feels like it's breaking the laws of physics, which doesn't mean anything here, but, like, it just feels really ridiculous. It does not seem right. Regardless, the boop is down. So Hevo 3.0 has a couple turns to just wreak havoc. Boop is down, pull is down. Raucous is the follow-up. Like, I wonder if Noob Sim got caught by that, or if Noob Sim was just doing it as bait, or just didn't even consider it, and it's just like, whatever, who cares? That guy's going for it, apparently. Although, I guess that murder wing isn't long. Not long for this world. Excuse me. FPS grenade logic. It's like, I mean, honestly, that's what I was thinking in my head, is like, oh, well, I lobbed the grenade over there, so then the concussive effect pushes it where it is. But a better case could be made that it should just go down. The logic in this game for the displacement tools, there's like a chart for how it's supposed to work. What it normally would do would push straight back, but there's an obstacle there, so it can't. So then it has to make a choice. Do I go up or down? And I think it goes counterclockwise, starting with northeast, I think. So then, as it's cycling around, it's going to hit going up, or it's relative to the hearts. I forget what it is. There is consistent behavior to it, at least programmatic consistent behavior, but I don't remember what the hell it is. That's an ace. That's Sparky. That's a Glob, which apparently was also the MVP. So we'll see what Glob's got in store. I should be drinking water. I don't think I drank enough water the last couple days. I definitely woke up this morning and I was like super dehydrated. It's like we're getting the quick pick. By the way, this Rusty has not capped anything, or not captured anything. 3-2 panic point advantage. Pressure is on bad guy, but it's a big map. It's going to take forever. Yeah, tired. I'm wiped out. There goes the Rusty. Trapping the ace. Are you just gonna march Glob up there? That's gonna be hilarious. You have to be a little careful of the Hevo boop. That is clearly online. Raucous can assist with that, but there's only so much you can do. Sparky animation is impressive. The art in this game has always been one of the high points. It's like they do a lot with an intentionally somewhat minimalistic design. Like the way the art style is, it's not overly complex. It's not trying to be hyper realistic, but they make some really cool looking monsters. And undead, and dimensionals, and mechanicals. Those are types of the phobies. Big old splash damage going down. 0 keys for our hero, so no healers coming in. Ace just murderizing Boom up the top. Boop. I don't love this glob. Like, what is this glob doing? I guess eventually we'll be able to shove shark it onto something, but I don't know. Boop. This is a great Hevo hit. Whoop, throwing stuff on the floor. Into the glob. That should get it. Dude, this turn was actually really good for Noob Sim. That was a great turn. And that's a huge amount of damage. Ace goes down. Nearly kill the Noxious. The Hevo 2.0 is on the ropes. Yeah, you got some stuff poisoned, but they're not gonna they're gonna be left with basically nothing momentarily. Like the Hevo is going to live, and that is not what you want to see. Oh nope, never mind. That was a good counterplay by Bad Guy. You yoinked the glob to free up the space in order to snipe the Hevo. That's well played. But I think we're going to get a challenge play set up here, honestly. Like, Sparky kills the Snowball, gets pulled forward, can kill the Hevo 2.0, Raucous and friends kill everything else. Ah, never mind, you didn't even need it. Great turn by Noob Sim. Pretty okay turn by Bad Guy. But Noob Sim had the better turns. And they're going to come away with the W. How? Why was that necessary? I guess you can get the... Well, you could have got the Rockets to hit anyway. Right? Ah, whatever. GG. Well played. Well played. Alright, chat. That is all of the games that are in the hopper right now. I don't know. Maybe we'll look at one game from the top 8 after this, but I'm going to close up this video. If you're interested in submitting viewer games, you can hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link for that is, of course, in the description of this video. Exclamation point Discord on the live stream and Twitch chat. But that's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.